Ever notice how some people don't seem to try at all, and yet everyone just likes them? They're not the loudest in the room, not the most dressed up, not even trying to entertain. But somehow conversations flow around them. People smile when they talk. There's an ease to how they exist that makes them magnetic. And maybe you've tried to figure it out. You've read the hacks: smile more, ask more questions, mirror their body language. You've practiced small talk, memorized interesting things to say. But instead of feeling natural, it just feels like acting, exhausting acting. Because when you're trying to be liked, it's like walking on emotional eggshells. You monitor every word, overthink every pause, and still leave wondering, did they even like me? What if the key isn't in trying harder, but in letting go of the need to be liked in the first place? Because here's the paradox. People are drawn to you when you aren't chasing approval, and they pull away the moment they sense you are. Most people believe that being liked means being impressive, be interesting, be charming, be funny, be helpful, be the kind of person people can't ignore. But this belief creates a trap. Because the moment you feel you need to be liked, you stop being yourself. You start adjusting, shrinking, editing. You laugh when you're not amused. You agree when you're unsure. You say, yeah, totally, just to fill space. And the wild part? People can feel that energy. It doesn't feel authentic, not because you're fake, but because you're tense. You're not you. You're a filtered version, built for approval. Now flip the frame. The people we feel most drawn to aren't always the most perfect or polished. They're the ones who are comfortable being themselves. They mess up a sentence. They admit they don't know something. They're relaxed in their own skin. That ease is magnetic. It says, I like me, even if you don't. And that kind of self-anchored presence, that's what people end up respecting most. There's a name for what makes people likable without trying: emotional ease. It's not confidence. It's not charisma. It's not being an extrovert. It's simply the absence of tension in how they carry themselves. When you're emotionally at ease, you're not constantly thinking about how you come across. You're not calculating every word. You're not trying to impress. You're just present. Let's say you're talking to someone new. Instead of trying to sound interesting, you actually listen. Instead of overthinking your responses, you speak naturally. You don't fill silences out of fear. You let them breathe. That vibe? People notice it. And they feel safer with you. Because people don't always remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And when you're relaxed, you give off a calm signal that says, it's okay to be human here. Here's the twist. Emotional ease is something you can practice. You can train your brain to stop panicking in social settings. Not by performing better, but by slowly removing the pressure to perform at all. Let's take a look at a more ironic example. You're in a conversation with a group. One person is trying so hard to be liked, laughing at every joke, nodding constantly, adding enforced compliments. Another person barely says anything, but when they do, it's chill, simple, maybe even dry. And yet, everyone keeps turning toward them. Why? Because when someone tries too hard, people feel it. It makes others subtly uncomfortable. Not because it's wrong, but because it creates pressure. You feel like you have to perform back. It's transactional. But when someone is relaxed, it gives permission. It sets the tone. You don't have to be impressive to be welcome here. And that vibe is rare. It's why quiet confidence always feels more powerful than over-explaining or overselling yourself. The twist. The less you try to win people over, the more space you give for genuine connection. It's like the air clears, and suddenly, real conversations happen. So why does this work? Why does trying less actually create more connection? It starts with how our brains read social signals, We're wired to constantly scan for emotional safety. When someone seems tense, overly eager, or trying to win us, it triggers subtle alarms. Not danger, but discomfort. We pick up on the dissonance between their words and their energy. This disconnect creates mistrust. Even if you're saying all the right things, if your vibe feels like effort and performance, people unconsciously withdraw. It feels like there's a hidden agenda, even if there isn't. On the flip side, emotional ease signals safety. When someone is calm, grounded, and not seeking validation, it tells our nervous system, this person isn't a threat. I can relax. And when both people feel safe, that's when connection happens. This isn't about faking chill. It's about regulating your internal state so you're not sending signals of desperation or pressure. The deeper truth? Likability has less to do with what you do and more with how others feel about themselves when they're with you. And when you're relaxed, they feel relaxed. That's what makes it stick. So how do you actually build emotional ease and presence? Here are 3 simple practices that create a big shift. 1. The one-breath pause. Before speaking in the group, take one intentional breath. It resets your nervous system and reminds you that you don't have to rush or perform. Just land in the moment. 2. Micro-honesty. Instead of pretending to be on, allow small truths. If you're nervous, say, I'm weirdly nervous right now. If you don't know something, say, no clue, honestly. These moments build instant trust. 3. Let the silence breathe. Don't rush to fill space. When someone finishes speaking, pause for a second. It signals confidence and gives your words more weight when you do speak. These aren't about manipulating perception. They're about disarming your own tension so that your presence becomes natural, grounded, and open. Try just one of these the next time you're in a social setting. You might be surprised by how quickly people start responding to your energy, not just your words. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. You don't have to work so hard to be liked. In fact, the harder you try, the more people sense the pressure, and the less connection actually happens. What makes you likable isn't perfection, it's presence. It's your ability to be comfortable with yourself, and in turn, make others feel comfortable being themselves around you. Emotional ease isn't about being lazy or not caring. It's about trusting that who you are, without performance, is already enough. That showing up as you, even with a little awkwardness, is better than showing up as a polished mask. So the next time you feel that old urge to impress, pause, take a breath, let go of the script. Show up as the version of you that doesn't need to be liked, but that you actually like. Because when you stop trying to be chosen, you start becoming someone people naturally choose.